Mega Evolution has gotten a pretty bad reputation in the 7th generation. It feels like Game Freak hates Megas now, and they also want us to hate ourselves for straight up abusing our Pokemon. I mean, look at half the Pokedex entries about Megas, it's just straight up heartless. I mean, check out Houndoom's right here. Its red claws and the tips of its tail are melting from high internal temperatures that are painful to Houndoom itself. This is power that is so strong and creates so much excess energy that it literally melts your Pokemon. So in response to that, I wanted to look for some happy Mega Pokedex entries. Like, you know what? The Pokemon's okay that's getting a fun amount of power, and then things are just okay and good. So let's start off with Mega Kangaskhan. Well, at least in Pokemon Sun, Mega Kangaskhan's strength derives from its mother's happiness about its child's growth. Watching it grow up keeps her spirits high. I mean, that's just good. That's just a good story about a mom that's proud of its child growing up and getting strong. And I'm going to kind of ignore the other Pokedex entry because I think this is both sides of the coin. You know, it's like, yeah, my kid's growing up, but also at the same time, it's like, well, now I have to worry about my kid becoming an adult and stuff like that. It just seems like this is taking a very mom/parental approach. Thanks to Mega Evolution, its child grows, but as its child is only good at fighting and nothing else, its mother feels uneasy about its future, and then also going into Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. When the mother sees the back of her Mega Evolved child, it makes her think of the day when her child will inevitably leave. So I mean, we're seeing all the stages right here. Proud of your child, but also worried about where it's going with its future, and then also getting that empty nest syndrome. And it's just like it's like a futuristic kind of look, like, oh man, that's gonna happen soon, isn't it? But there is one happy Pokedex entry, and with what we've seen about Mega Evolution so far, I will take it. But also, we do have Mega Pincer. It becomes able to fly. Perhaps because it's so happy, it rarely touches the ground. So I mean, Pincer looks like a pretty miserable Pokemon. I mean, it just sits there. It's got some cool horns that it can go and like crunch down on things with. But other than that, it doesn't seem like a very mobile Pokemon. It doesn't really have like a lot of agility or any movement. It seems like it only exists to be ugly and destroy things. Well, it's still ugly in the Mega Evolution, but at least it can fly. And it seems to have like some kind of freedom about that. The freedom of it being able to fly means that it doesn't ever touch the ground. Now, I do have some hesitation because this is a Mega Evolution Pokedex entry, so I'm hoping that this Pincer thing isn't going on like Spoink. If Spoink stops bouncing up and down, its heart will stop. So I'm just going to pretend that Mega Pincer is happy to fly because it just appears, you know, perhaps because it's so happy, it rarely touches the ground, not because if it stops flying, it will die. Now, when it comes to Mega Ampharos, this is actually the reason why I made the video, because people were worried about their favorite Pokemon, and Ampharos is a very loved Pokemon, especially in that Mega Evolution, that people are like, well, what about Ampharos? Ampharos is okay, right? Please tell me Ampharos isn't suffering or anything. Well, we can at least rest assured that Ampharos is a very happy Mega Pokemon. First off, if you look that good after Mega Evolution, you would feel good about yourself as well. But excess energy from Mega Evolution stimulates its genes, and the wool that it had lost grows in again. That's awesome, because I'd like to imagine that Ampharos was very happy as a pretty Flaffy. You know, it's got a nice coat about it. It can take a lot of pride in the beautiful wool that Mareep and Flaffy kind of wear, and maybe Ampharos is kind of sad that when it evolves, it loses that glorious fur coat. But Mega Evolution brings it back, and brings it back with such impeccable style that only joy can be brought from that. And also, wouldn't you be happy if you became a freaking dragon? I know Ampharos is. Energy intensely stimulated Ampharos' cells, apparently awakening the long-sleeping dragon's blood. Dude, Ampharos has dragon's blood in it, and it gets to relive its dragon heritage while also looking freaking gorgeous. I love it, Ampharos. We have at least one really good Mega Pokedex entry. Next up, we have Mega Lopunny, another one that people are like, what about my Lopunny? I hope she's okay, you know? Mega Evolution awakens its combative instincts. It has shed any fur that got in the way of its attacks. Now, this is kind of like a reverse to Mega Ampharos, but I mean, Mega Lopunny still looks good, and it seems like it has like a nice little bit of style with the remaining fur, and it still has a good amount of fur as well. So I think it's just kind of one of those like fighter kind of things. Like, have you seen Ronda Rousey in the ring? She doesn't look that fantastic, but outside of the ring, she's a good-looking woman. So I mean, maybe we could have the same going on when we talk about the Mega Lopunny. Also, Ronda Rousey likes Pokemon. Nice. Also, going off the Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire Mega Evolution teaser, Lopunny seems like it's having a good bit of fun. It seems happy, you know? It does get a little frustrated, but that's just the combative instincts. But then when it gets the win, you know, it doesn't look like Lopunny's suffering. It doesn't look like it's going through any kind of extra energy that it's exerting that's actually damaging it. It's just kind of having its own good time. Unfortunately, Mega Sableye gets wrecked, and we already talked about him in the last video. That gem just rips through its chest and then makes it completely immobile. So, poor Sableye, but Lopunny's still doing pretty good. Next up, we have Mega Slowbro. having been swallowed whole by Shelter, Slowbro now has an iron defense. It's pretty comfortable in there. So I mean, it looks bad. It looks like maybe Mega Slowbro's like, man, my life is over. This is the worst feeling ever. I can do absolutely nothing. But it seems happy in the trailer. And also, look at that. You gain an impenetrable defense. You have an iron defense. And also, it's comfortable. Like, if I can just live in a comfy shell and be, like, perfectly safe, there is no loss there. So I'm going to give that one to the Mega Slowbro. Outside of that, unfortunately, we don't have any other Pokedex entries that are good for the Pokemon. So, yeah, those are like, and not even all of those are happy. Like, some of those, I will admit, it's a little bit of a stretch. Like, Ampharos is kind of the only truly happy one, and maybe even the Pincer, but Pincer's pretty violent, so I mean, that kind of shows, like, yeah, you're Mega Evolving the Pincer, and you're making it happy to kill things, so I'm gonna take the win-loss trade on that one. But yeah, like, I want to see what happens when we get more Mega Evolutions, because maybe some of them are okay, but then, like, the more aggressive, the more powerful Pokemon, you're just unlocking those raging instincts that actually make it fight until it hurts itself. But it looks like there's a little bit of hope for Mega Evolution not being the most evil thing ever. Also, going back to that Mega Evolution trailer, I mean, Mega Altaria and Mega Audino look like they're having fun. I mean, Mega Audino, it gets the healer ability as a Mega. It seems like it just wants to help its friends while in a Mega state. Altaria was a floofy cloud that just gets to be a very floofy cloud. So, I mean, they're having fun. I don't see any pain, anger, or hatred there. See, this could be working out. It could be all right. And also, with all the bad, like even if every Pokemon just greatly suffers through Mega Evolution, at least Mega Evolution has brought us one thing that is truly amazing, and that is Brock without his shirt on. True, he always had it that way, but we got to see in the Pokemon anime that yeah, he gets to take off his shirt to reveal he has Mega Evolution. And you know what? I think that makes it just a little bit more worth. I'm not saying that it makes up for Houndoom melting, or Scizor also melting. Man, there's just a lot of degenerative hate in this Mega Evolution stuff, but at least we can extract some good from it. Also, going even deeper, like unofficially / officially, there was that Pokemon like animation special that they uploaded onto the Pokemon YouTube channel, where they did talk about some of the Mega Starter Pokemon, like the Hoenn Mega Starters. They got their own little Dex entries, and it was displayed in a fun and happy kind of way. So it's not like, nah, this isn't purely just an anger rage fest. Like, hey guys, let's learn about Mega Evolution today. This Pokemon gets strong and it looks good, so things are all right. So I mean, overall, Mega Evolution bad. Mega Evolution, really bad. We learned this from Pokemon Sun and Moon going into Pokemon Ultra Moon, but at least it seems like it's not the worst thing ever. Some Pokemon can still do just fine with Mega Evolution. So what do you guys think? Does this save Mega Evolution? Just a couple of little Pokedex entries that are like, hey, the Pokemon isn't dying, so it's okay? Or is it still evil? You know, that this is just the observation. That still deep down inside, Mega Evolution is bad 100% of the time. Whenever you Mega Evolve the Pokemon, you are forcing some kind of painful experience upon them, because Game Freak is like mega bad, wanting power bad. Being a greedy trainer for strength is bad. I guess that's kind of what came out of the Magearna movie, but overall, it's like, what do you guys think? Also, what do you think is going to happen for the future of Mega Pokedex entries? Do you think it's always going to be just terrible, bad, angry? Do you see some other Pokemon that might get a beneficial Pokedex entry? Like Ampharos, you know, you look at some of these other ones. Yeah, we have Aerodactyl going in. That looks kind of like an angry, fossil, prehistoric Pokemon. A lot of these are getting like some kind of crazy power adaptation. Maybe Charizard Y wouldn't be as bad as Charizard X, something like that. I see a plant growing not being a problem at all. I mean, like Ampharos, he's not doing anything wrong. He just gets a chill coat and becomes a dragon type. But everything else, you know, it gets a little more ferocious. We already have Scizor being a very vicious, clampy, attacking kind of Pokemon. We have a Hellhound, so that's something. I see Blaziken's probably being pretty bad, but Gardevoir's can't be bad at all. And some people are like, oh, look at that. Gardevoir's heart is opening up to its trainers. So, I mean, this must be a passionate thing instead of just being like straight up pain. But that would really suck if it forces the pain of Mega Evolution. Yeah, I'm just going to like destroy every Gardevoir fan out there, because going off the other Pokedex entries that we've seen so far, not unrealistic to say that Gardevoir is forcing itself through the pain to please its trainer, so that way it can look strong to its trainer who it loves or something, you know. And it's like the whole wedding dress, open heart shenanigans that people were kind of going off of. I mean, actually, I missed on Mega Manetrix. That the Mega Manetric for a Pokedex entry in the last video is that it actually becomes like so fast and unstable that the Pokemon is annoyed by it. So that's great. Absolutely. Yeah, like I don't really see Pokemon that would be better off. I could see Beedrill getting more ferocious and angry. maybe Pidgeot being alright. Slowbro doesn't seem too bothered. Sceptile has to detach its tail to attack, so that's kind of lame. I guess it grows back, though. And yeah, that's kind of it. Glade gets ferocious. So, alright. So, what do we got? We have Mega Altaria. We got Mega Ampharos, Mega Ardino. That's kind of it. I guess that those are the only non-terrible Mega Evolutions. If there's any aspect of Mega Evolution, that could be alright. So, could depend on the Pokemon. Could also just... And also, it's another one of those things. I already did a video earlier talking about the Sun and Moon ones. Does Game Freak hate Mega Evolution? Maybe we can take that further in the future just to see if Game Freak keeps trying to distance themselves, or if they've accepted it that it's still alright, but they're more putting a drawback to it. No, there's a caveat for this much power. That just kind of shows that you're just one of the greedy, more villainous kind of trainers, even though in the anime it does get a bit different of representation. So maybe Game Freak is trying to retcon it when you see the anime and the other things saying, hey, this is a cool thing, and then in the 7th generation, you know, the next generation after, like, never mind, we take it back. We hate you for this, and you should hate yourself. So if you guys enjoy the video, hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.